This is the official part 2 of books I own but haven't read yet, so let's go. Okay, I have a variety of books, a variety of different styles in this. I'm trying to get out of just staying in the romance and fantasy world, but you're going to get a lot of romance and fantasy still. At least a little. On this one, it's a little bit more romance, but let's go. So I have Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I know she has a book coming out this summer that's also on my list, so I just got to get to it. I have started it, and I just think I was in a reading slump, and I just, like, at the time that I read it, it wasn't anything wrong with it, so I want to try to jump back into it and read it officially. But the synopsis for it's really nice. We have a florist and also like a planner, so, and The Wedding Planner, the movie, is like one of my favorite rom-com films, so I'm excited about this one. And then Percy Jackson. So I have a lot of my friends who love Percy Jackson down. They're like, you gotta read it, Kevon, you gotta read it. So I officially bought it. I own it now, so I don't have any excuses. And so at some point this year, for sure, I want to get to it. I don't know if I'll get to it this summer, but I do want to get to it this year. But I do love the new design. The book is very well, like, built. It's got a soft cover. I love the soft covers. And then the spine has a different cover than the front. So I love book design. So I just wanted to note that. This one's more like, I can't remember because I bought it such a while ago. I believe it's based off of like true stories. I don't think it's fictional stories. But I do remember I saw it and I wanted to really like have a deep dive into it and read all the different stories. But basically it's Black Enough. Yes, it is. Stories of being young and Black in America. It's a variety of authors. And specifically it was written for, I believe, like, to focus on teens, but I want to look back and also just like connect it back to my experiences as a Black teenager. But if you've read it, let me know what you think, and if I should bump it up more on my list. Once again, I'm not a big nonfiction person, but I do try to at least like read one every so often. The next one, I've had this on my list forever. If you see, I got it from Blackwell's Books. It was a 3 for 2. And if you know, I have not been out of the country since 2019. So I've had this book for about 5 years now, and I still have not read it. But it's The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. So if you've read it, let me know. If you're like, girl, if you don't read this book, hurry up. Because I would love to know. I think I just don't hear much about it. What caught me was like the synopsis, of course, but then I also loved like the book cover. It's very, like, I love colorful things, so it's just very pretty to me. But I was trying to step out my zone with the synopsis as well, and I just haven't pushed myself to get there just yet. Then I also have, this is a recent one. As you see, it's still fresh. The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. It is like a retelling of Carrie, but from like a Black girl's perspective, specifically someone who's biracial and her experiences in a heavily like white town. And it's something to know about me. While I love romance and fantasy, I do love me a good thriller, especially if it's not the stereotypical type. And to explain a little bit further, like, some things are very, like, I feel like some things on Book Talk get a little hyped up. I'm not going to mention any specific authors, but I'm just saying, like, some thrillers get hyped up and it's, like, not it. I read one and it was very much like, girl, this could have all been avoided. And I know we see that in horror movies all the time, in thriller movies, but reading it is really hard. So I'm excited to read this one, especially, like, Black thriller as well. And if you read it, don't spoil it for me, but let me know if it's like, if the synopsis is really like as interesting as the actual book fully. But I'm excited about it, so let me know. And then she's popular enough as is. My girl Allie, you know, she got a book coming out too. It's already out. Not in Love is already out, actually. Love Theoretically, I have not read it yet. Don't tell me nothing. I'm going to read it. She got a lot of books. I've read a good chunk. I love The Love Hypothesis. That is one of my favorite ones from her. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't want it to end up feeling repetitive. I think that's why I haven't read it yet, because I don't know if it's going to feel very similar to the other ones I've read from her. She has a theme, and I get it. But nevertheless, I'm still excited to read it. And then I also have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. There's another book by Tia Williams that is on my like list. I don't own it. But people hype this one up all the time, and it's been on my list for a minute. I've had this book for about a year or so now, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. I don't know why. I think it just depends. I know for me, when I read romance too, I have to be prepared for if it's a deeper topic involved. And I just need to like be ready to sit in it, because once again, it depends on like time of year, where's my mood at, etc., etc. And if not, I'm not ready to read something like super intense and serious. And I know it's still romance, but it also kind of deals with like more connective topics. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've kind of picked up on from people who have said they enjoyed it. And sometimes, like I said, I've done fast pace, slow pace, etc., but sometimes I'm not ready for slow pace or like, you know, second chance romances, etc. I get intrigued by like that meet cute of it all. But let me know, because I think this one might be bumped up on my summer reads to finally read it. I think this is on my summer reads list. Now I'm sitting here talking to y'all about it. I think so. I'm a psych girly. I've had this since college and I haven't read it, but Trauma and Memory, if you've read it, let me know. I'm going to speed through the nonfiction for a second. And then, I have the whole combo. So I have the first one and the second one, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. So, you know, TikTok don't get me, by Mark Manson. I'm a girl who likes the idea of self-help books, but I don't read them a lot, or I own them. I don't read them a lot. The one I have gotten through is Daring Greatly by Dr. Brene Brown, and I love that one. I also had to read it, though, for a college project for my job. So let me know if I should, like, give this a chance again. I had started reading it, and I kind of fell off audiobook-wise, but it hasn't left my list. I also have You Are Bad by Jen Sincero. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Another self-help book, another one that I started and kind of fell off of, but I really do think that it has potential. I don't think, once again, me and nonfiction, I try to push to it. And then I have Christina Lauren, Soulmate Equation. I like the Unhoneymooners, and I'm trying to read more Christina Lauren as well. But be very specific about it. So I'm excited about this one. I like the yellow cover. I know there's a purple one too. If you know me, you know I love Jasmine Guillory. I've Drunken Love. I've had it for a very long time, but it has not been forgotten. It's still crisp and pristine, even though I've had it for a very long time. Also soft cover. I love that. Jasmine, are you coming out with more books this year? I'm just curious. I just thought about that. I haven't seen you on the list of like drops. I'm just thinking. Yes, I haven't read Pride and Prejudice. I told myself I need to read one classic this year. And not necessarily need to, but I wanted to. I wanted to step out of my zone. So I'm going to read Jane Austen. I'm going to read Pride and Prejudice because that's still romance girly. You know, kind of like annoyance to love, kind of like the yearning, etc., etc. But, you know, still a classic. So I'm excited. I already know there's people who love it. I've watched the movie before, so I'm actually going to finally read it. I'm going to try to read it this summer. And then last but not least, I have Assistant to the Villain. It seems fun. It just seems really funny, too. It seems like something I would watch, so I know it's something that I would read. It's not only romance, but it's also, like, adventure. I love adventure books as well. So I'm excited about this one. It's Hannah Nicole Mehrer. I'm bad with names, y'all. I'm so sorry. And then I think this is for sure one I'm going to read. I believe it's a series, though, so I have to be mentally prepared for that. But I think it's definitely one I'm going to read this summer. So let me know. Please tell me if there's books that I put on here that you're like, girl, put that on the top of your list, put it higher. Please let me know so I can strategize appropriately.